When Maya Brooks stepped off the elevator on the wrong floor, she had no idea she was about to meet the man who would change her life forever, or that his vengeful ex-fiancé was already plotting to destroy them. Ethan Walsh, a powerful CEO who hadn't trusted a woman in 10 years, was about to break every rule he'd made to protect his heart. But when gossip bloggers started hunting them with cameras and Quinn Hale launched her poisonous podcast campaign, Maya discovered that loving a billionaire meant becoming a target. As lies spread like wildfire and Ethan's fear threatened to tear them apart, Maya faced an impossible choice: fight for their love in front of the entire world, or walk away from the only man who'd ever seen her as an equal. What happened next in that glass office lobby would either save their relationship or destroy it completely, and the whole company was watching. If you're ready to find out whether true love can survive when the whole world is against you, hit that subscribe button and tell me what city you're watching from, because this story will make you believe in second chances, no matter where you are. Maya Brooks checked her phone for the 3rd time. She was cutting it close. The interview was in 10 minutes, and she still had to find the right floor. The elevator doors opened on the 18th floor. Maya stepped out into a world of glass and marble. Everything gleamed under bright lights. Her worn sneakers squeaked softly on the polished floor. She followed the signs to what she thought was the right direction. Through a glass wall, she saw a group of people sitting in chairs. A woman in a navy suit held papers in her hands. Maya pushed open the door. "Sorry I'm late," Maya said quietly. She slid into an empty chair at the back. The woman looked up. "No problem. I'm Dana Kim from Human Resources. We're just getting started." Maya pulled out her phone to double-check the email. "Floor 18, it said." She was in the right place. Dana continued talking. "We're looking for someone who can handle pressure well. Someone who puts people first, even when things get busy." A man in his 30s walked past the glass wall. He had dark hair and wore a simple white shirt with his sleeves rolled up. Something made him stop. He stood where Maya could just see him through the glass. "Can you tell me about a time you helped someone when you didn't have to?" Dana asked the group. Maya's hand went up. "I work at a coffee shop downtown. Last week, this older man came in every day. He always ordered the same thing, but one day he seemed confused. He couldn't remember what he wanted." The man outside the glass wall stepped closer. Maya didn't notice him listening. "I sat with him for a few minutes," Maya continued. "Helped him remember his usual order. Turns out he was having a bad day because his wife was in the hospital. I made sure he got his coffee just right. Sometimes people just need someone to be patient with them." Dana nodded. "That's exactly what we're looking for. Someone who sees people, not just problems." Maya felt good about her answer. Through the glass, the man in the white shirt was still standing there. When their eyes met for a second, he looked away. "Let's talk about working under pressure," Dana said. "This role requires—" Maya's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and her heart sank. The email said, "Floor 8, not 18. She was in the wrong interview. Heat rushed to her cheeks. She raised her hand. "I'm so sorry. I think I'm in the wrong place." Dana paused. "What do you mean?" "I'm here for the facilities assistant interview. I think that's on floor 8, not 18. The room went quiet. Maya wanted to disappear into her chair. "Let me check," Dana said kindly. She looked at her computer. "Yes, that interview is downstairs. But you know what? Your answers were really good. We could use someone like you up here too." Maya shook her head. "Thank you, but I need to get to the right interview. I can't miss it." She stood up, her face still burning. "I'm really sorry for interrupting." Outside in the hallway, Maya pressed the elevator button over and over. She felt like such an idiot. How could she have read the floor number wrong? "Are you okay?" Maya turned. The man in the white shirt was standing there. Up close, she could see he had kind eyes and a slight smile. "I'm fine," Maya said quickly. "Just embarrassed. I'm supposed to be on floor 8, not 18. "Easy mistake," he said. "Let me ride down with you and make sure you find the right place." The elevator doors opened. They stepped inside together. "I'm Ethan," he said, as the doors closed. "Maya, and thank you. You didn't have to do this." "I wanted to." Ethan pressed the button for floor 8. "What you said up there about helping that man, that was really good." Maya looked at the floor numbers lighting up. "I just try to treat people the way I'd want to be treated. That's not as common as it should be." The elevator stopped at floor 8. The doors opened to a busy hallway. Maya could see people walking around with clipboards and work uniforms. "This looks more like it," Maya said. Ethan stepped out with her. Let me help you find the right office. They walked down the hallway together. Maya noticed how other people nodded at Ethan as they passed. He seemed important here, but he wasn't acting like it. There it is. Ethan pointed to a door with a sign that read, Facilities Management. Thank you so much, Maya said. I really appreciate this. Good luck with your interview. Maya was about to go in when someone called Ethan's name loudly. A red-faced man in an expensive suit was arguing with a woman behind the front desk. Mr. Walsh, this is exactly the kind of service issue I was talking about, the angry man said. Maya watched Ethan's face change. He looked more serious now. Give me 1 second, Ethan said quietly to Maya. He walked over to the front desk. What's the problem? Ethan asked calmly. I need these reports printed and bound in 20 minutes, the angry man said. She's telling me it can't be done. The woman behind the desk looked stressed. Sir, our binding machine is down for repairs. I explained that we can print everything, but binding will take longer. Maya could see the woman was about to cry. The angry man was being mean to her for no good reason. Without thinking, Maya stepped forward. Excuse me, would it help if I wrote up a quick email to your client explaining the delay? Sometimes a professional note can buy you extra time. Everyone looked at her. Maya felt her cheeks get warm again, but she didn't back down. Ethan looked surprised but nodded. That's a good idea. Maya, this is Mr. Peterson, one of our clients. Mr. Peterson looked Maya up and down. You work here? I'm here for an interview, Maya said, but I've written a lot of emails explaining delays. People usually understand if you're honest and professional about it. Fine, Mr. Peterson said. Let's see what you can do. The woman behind the desk handed Maya a piece of paper and a pen. Maya wrote quickly, Dear Mr. Johnson, we are printing your materials now and they will be ready by 2 p.m. today instead of 1:30 p.m. as planned. We discovered an equipment issue that affects binding quality and we want to make sure your presentation materials look perfect. Thank you for understanding. Peterson and Associates. Maya handed the paper to Mr. Peterson. He read it and his face relaxed a little. This works, he said. It makes us look professional instead of disorganized. Exactly, Maya said. People appreciate honesty. Mr. Peterson looked at Ethan. You should hire her. Maya felt her face heat up again. I'm actually interviewing for facilities assistant. Well, good luck, Mr. Peterson said. He seemed like a different person now. And thank you for the help. After he left, Ethan turned to Maya. That was really smart thinking. I just know what it's like when things go wrong, Maya said. Usually it's not anybody's fault. People just want to know you care about fixing it. Ethan nodded slowly. You should go to your interview. But first, let me buy you a coffee. As a thank you. Maya was about to say no, but she realized she was really thirsty. Okay, just a quick one. They walked to the lobby, where a small coffee cart was set up near the windows. The man running it smiled when he saw Ethan. The usual? The coffee cart man asked. Actually, 2 drip coffees today, Ethan said. He looked at Maya. Cream and sugar. Just black, thanks. While they waited for the coffee, Maya looked around the lobby. Everything was clean and modern. Through the big windows, she could see the city bustling outside. This is a nice building, Maya said. Thank you. We try to make it a good place to work. Maya looked at him. We? Ethan handed her a coffee cup. I'm the CEO here. This is my company. Maya almost dropped her coffee. You're the boss? Of the whole company? Yeah. Ethan looked uncomfortable. Is that weird? Maya laughed. A little. I mean, CEOs don't usually help lost people find the right floor. They should, Ethan said simply. Maya took a sip of her coffee. It was really good. She looked at Ethan, trying to figure him out. He didn't act like other bosses she'd met. Those guys always seemed to think they were better than everyone else. I should go, Maya said. I don't want to be late. Of course. Ethan pulled a business card from his pocket and wrote something on the back. If you don't get this job, call me. We might have something else that would be a good fit. Maya looked at the card. On the back, he'd written his direct phone number. Thank you, she said. Really, you've been so kind. Good luck, Maya. Maya walked toward the facilities office, her mind spinning. What just happened? A CEO had helped her find the right floor, watched her solve a problem, and now wanted to hire her. Things like this didn't happen to her. She realized she still had the pen she'd used to write the email. It was a cheap plastic pen, nothing special. She'd grab it after the interview. But when Maya came back to the lobby an hour later, the pen was gone. She looked around the coffee cart and the floor, but couldn't find it anywhere. "Looking for something?" the coffee cart man asked. "Just a pen I left here. No big deal." Maya walked outside to catch her bus. The interview had gone okay. They said they'd call in a few days. The job didn't pay much, but it would be steady work with good hours. As she waited at the bus stop, Maya saw Ethan walking out of the building. He was talking on his phone and walking fast. When he looked up and saw her, he raised his hand in a small wave. Maya waved back and smiled. The bus pulled up just as it started to rain. She climbed on and found a seat by the window. As the bus pulled away, Maya saw Ethan standing on the sidewalk. He was holding an umbrella now, watching the bus leave. For some reason, that made her smile. Maya turned her key in the apartment door and heard her grandmother's voice from the living room. "That you, baby?" "It's me, Grandma Rosa." Maya walked into the small living room. Rosa was sitting in her favorite chair with her foot up on a pillow. Her ankle had been bothering her for weeks. "How did the interview go?" Rosa asked. Maya kicked off her wet shoes and sat on the couch. "Good, I think. But something strange happened." She told Rosa about getting off on the wrong floor, the interview she accidentally joined, and meeting Ethan. Rosa listened without interrupting, which meant she was really paying attention. "A CEO helped you find the right floor?" Rosa said, when Maya finished. "I know it sounds crazy, but he was so normal, like he actually listened when people talked." Rosa smiled. "What did he look like?" "Grandma, I'm just asking. Can't an old woman be curious?" Maya rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. "Tall, dark hair, white guy, maybe 30. He had kind eyes." "Kind eyes are important," Rosa said. "Your grandfather had kind eyes." Maya had heard stories about her grandfather her whole life. He died when Maya was 5, but Rosa still talked about him like he'd just stepped out to the store. "The facilities job pays $12.50 an hour," Maya said, changing the subject. "If I get it, I can pick up extra shifts at the cafe. We should be able to cover rent and your prescriptions." Rosa frowned. "You're working too much already." "I'm fine. I like staying busy." Maya got up and went to the kitchen. She opened the refrigerator and stared at the shelves, doing math in her head. They had enough food for dinner and breakfast tomorrow. She'd have to stop at the store after work. Her phone buzzed. A text from her manager at the cafe. "Can you work Sunday morning?" Jess called in sick. Maya typed back, "Yes, I'll be there." "More work?" Rosa called from the living room. "Just Sunday morning." Maya started making dinner. Spaghetti with the sauce she made from scratch because it was cheaper than buying jarred sauce. She added extra garlic and herbs to make it taste special. "Smells good," Rosa said when Maya brought her a plate. They ate together in the living room, watching the evening news. The weatherman said it would rain for the next 3 days. "I need to go grocery shopping tomorrow," Maya said. "We're almost out of coffee. Take my umbrella, the good one." Maya smiled. Rosa had 2 umbrellas. The good one was black with a wooden handle. Rosa had owned it for at least 20 years, but it still worked perfectly. After dinner, Maya cleaned the kitchen and helped Rosa get ready for bed. Rosa's ankle was swollen again. Maya made sure she had her pills and a glass of water on her nightstand. "Don't stay up too late," Rosa said. "I won't." But Maya did stay up late. She sat at the small table in the kitchen, going through bills and checking her bank account. If she got the facilities job and kept her cafe shifts, she could save a little money each month, maybe enough to help Rosa see a specialist about her ankle. Maya's phone buzzed. An email from Dana Kim at Walsh Tech. "Hi Maya, thank you for interviewing today. We were impressed with how you handled yourself. The facilities assistant position requires more experience than you currently have, but we have some part-time front desk shifts available if you're interested. The pay is $15 an hour. Let me know if you'd like to discuss this." Dana. $15 an hour was more than Maya made at the cafe. She could work fewer hours and still make the same money. That would give her more time to take care of Rosa. Maya wrote back, "Hi Dana, I'm very interested in the front desk position. When can we talk? Thank you, Maya." She sent the email and closed her laptop. Through the kitchen window, she could see the lights of downtown. Somewhere in one of those buildings, Ethan was probably still working. Maya wondered if he remembered her name. Thursday came with grey skies and the promise of more rain. Maya took the bus downtown for her first shift at Walsh Tech. Dana had called the day before to offer her 3 shifts a week at the front desk. covering lunch breaks and busy periods. Maya wore her best pants and the white button-down shirt she saved for important occasions. She'd ironed it twice to make sure it looked perfect. The lobby was busy when Maya arrived. People in suits walked past, talking on phones and carrying laptops. Maya found Dana near the elevators. "Ready for your first day?" Dana asked. "Ready." Dana showed Maya the front desk and explained the computer system. It wasn't too complicated. Maya would check visitors in, answer phones, and help people who looked lost. "Emergency contact information is here," Dana said, pointing to a folder. "Building security is here. If anything goes wrong, call them first." Maya nodded and took notes. Dana was thorough and patient. Maya could see why people liked working for her. "Any questions?" Dana asked. "What if someone asks me something I don't know?" Then you say, "Let me find out for you," and you call me or security. Never guess. At 5:45 p.m., the lobby started getting busy as people left work. Maya checked visitors out and answered questions about parking. Everything was going smoothly. Then the lights went out. Maya's heart jumped. The lobby went dark except for some emergency lights that cast strange shadows. People stopped walking and started looking around. "What happened?" someone asked. Maya took a deep breath. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight. The bright light cut through the darkness. "Everyone, please stay where you are for just a moment," Maya said loudly enough for people to hear. "This is probably just a power issue. I'm checking on it now." She pressed the button to call security. No answer. The phones must be connected to the power system. Maya looked around the lobby. An older couple stood near the elevators, holding hands and looking scared. A young man in a suit kept pressing the elevator button over and over. "Sir, the elevators won't work without power," Maya called to him. "But don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back on soon." She walked over to the older couple with her phone light. "Would you like to sit down? There are chairs right over here." The woman smiled gratefully. "Thank you, dear. My legs aren't as steady as they used to be." Maya helped them to a seating area near the windows. Then she checked the stairwell doors. They opened fine, and the emergency lights in the stairs were working. "If anyone needs to leave the building," Maya announced, "the stairs are safe to use. But please wait a few more minutes. Power outages downtown usually don't last long." Maya moved through the lobby with her phone light, making sure everyone was okay. She counted 15 people total. Most of them looked calm now that someone was clearly in charge. From somewhere in the darkness, Maya heard a familiar voice say quietly, "Thank you." She turned her light toward the sound. Ethan was standing near the windows, watching her. He wasn't panicking or demanding to know what was wrong. He was just watching Maya take care of everyone else. "How long have you been there?" Maya asked softly. "Since the lights went out. I was heading to my office to get some files." Maya felt her cheeks get warm. She hoped he couldn't see her blushing in the dim light. "I should call the power company," Maya said. "I already did," Ethan said. "They're working on it. Should be back on in about 15 minutes. "Okay, good." They stood there for a moment, her phone light creating a small circle of brightness around them. Maya could smell his cologne, something clean and simple. "You're good at this," Ethan said. "At what?" "Taking care of people, making them feel safe." Maya didn't know what to say to that. She'd just done what seemed right. A low humming sound filled the lobby. Then the lights flickered back on. People blinked and looked around, smiling with relief. "Ladies and gentlemen," Maya said, "power's back on. Elevators should be working in just a minute." The older couple walked over to Maya. "Thank you for taking such good care of us," the woman said. "Of course. I hope you get home safely." Maya watched them get on the elevator. When she turned around, Ethan was still standing there. "Thank you," he said again. "I didn't do anything special." "Yes, you did." The way he said it made Maya's heart beat a little faster. But before she could respond, other people started asking questions about parking validation and where to catch cabs. When Maya looked up again, Ethan was gone. Thursday evening turned into a long night for Ethan. He stayed at the office until almost 9, catching up on work he'd missed during the power outage. But he kept thinking about Maya, the way she'd moved through the dark lobby with confidence, how she'd made that scared couple feel safe, the calm, clear way she'd talked to everyone. Ethan opened his desk drawer, the one where he kept small things that mattered to him, a photo of his parents, a coin his grandfather had carried, and now a cheap plastic pen. He'd found it by the coffee cart after Maya's interview. He'd meant to throw it away, but something made him keep it instead. Ethan picked up the pen and rolled it between his fingers. He couldn't remember the last time he'd been this curious about someone. His cousin Liam knocked on the door and walked in without waiting for an answer. "You're still here," Liam said. "Just finishing some reports." Liam sat in the chair across from Ethan's desk. "How was the power outage?" "Fine. The new front desk assistant handled it really well. Maya, right? Dana mentioned her. Says she's smart." Ethan put the pen back in the drawer and closed it. "She is." Liam studied his face. "You like her." "I don't know her." "But you want to." Ethan didn't answer. Liam had known him too long. There was no point in lying. "Ethan," Liam said carefully, "you know you can't date employees, right?" "I'm not dating anyone." "But you're thinking about it." Ethan leaned back in his chair. "I haven't thought about dating anyone in 10 years. What makes you think I'm starting now?" "Because you're acting different, less guarded, and you've got that pen." "What pen?" Liam smiled. "The one you just put in the drawer, the one you've been carrying around for 3 days. Ethan stood up and walked to the window. Downtown was quiet now. Most of the office buildings were dark. "She's not like other people," Ethan said finally. "How so?" "She sees people. Really sees them. Like, she notices when someone needs help, and she helps without being asked." "That's rare," Liam agreed, "and she doesn't want anything from me. When I offered to help her, she said no, unless she asked for it first." Liam was quiet for a moment. "You know what happened last time you trusted someone?" Ethan's jaw tightened. "This is different." "How?" "Quinn wanted to be seen with me. She wanted the restaurants and the photos and the story. Maya doesn't even know my last name." "Yes, she does. Dana would have told her who you are." Ethan turned back to his cousin. "Then why hasn't she called?" "I gave her my number. If she wanted something, she would have asked by now." "Maybe she's just being professional. Or maybe she's just not interested." Liam stood up. "There's only one way to find out." "What's that?" "Ask her." After Liam left, Ethan locked his office and took the elevator to the lobby. Maya's shift had ended hours ago, but he could still picture her moving through the darkness with her phone light, making sure everyone was okay. Through the lobby windows, Ethan could see it was raining again. He thought about Maya waiting for the bus in this weather. He hoped she had an umbrella. Friday morning brought more rain and the smell of fresh coffee at Maya's cafe. She arrived early to help with the morning rush, moving between tables and the espresso machine with practiced ease. At 7:15, the bell above the door chimed. Maya looked up from the register and saw Ethan walking in, shaking water from an umbrella. Their eyes met across the small cafe. Ethan smiled and raised his hand in a small wave. Maya felt her stomach do a little flip. "Be right with you," Maya called. She finished taking an order for 2 lattes and a blueberry muffin. When she looked up again, Ethan was standing at the counter. "Good morning," he said. "Hi, what can I get you?" "Just coffee, and I wanted to give you this back." Ethan reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out Maya's pen, the cheap plastic pen she'd forgotten about completely. "Oh," Maya said, "I thought I lost that. I found it by the coffee cart Tuesday. I meant to give it back yesterday, but—" He gestured vaguely. "The power outage." "Right." Maya took the pen. Their fingers touched for just a second. Ethan's hand was warm. "Thank you," Maya said. "You didn't have to bring it all the way here. I was in the neighborhood." Maya looked around the tiny cafe. They were downtown, but this wasn't exactly the business district. "You live around here? A few blocks away." "I like the quiet." Maya poured coffee into a to-go cup. "Cream and sugar, just black." Maya handed him the cup. "That'll be $2.50. Ethan pulled out his wallet. Maya saw him start to hand her a $10 bill, then stop and pull out exact change instead. "Thank you," Maya said, dropping the money into the register. "Thank you. For the coffee and for yesterday. You handled that power outage like a pro." Maya felt her cheeks get warm. Just did what needed doing. Not everyone would have. Most people would have worried about themselves first. Maya didn't know what to say to that. She was saved by the espresso machine beeping, telling her the lattes were ready. "I should let you get back to work," Ethan said. "Okay. Have a good day." "You too." Ethan walked to the door, then stopped and turned back. "Maya?" "Yeah? I'm glad you kept the pen." Maya watched him walk out into the rain. She looked down at the pen in her hand. It was just a cheap plastic pen, the kind you buy in packs of 10. But somehow, the fact that he'd remembered it and brought it back made it feel special. "Who was that?" asked Jess, Maya's co-worker. "Someone from my other job." He's cute. Maya tucked the pen into her apron pocket. He's my boss. Yikes, that's complicated. Maya thought about that as she steamed milk for the lattes. It was complicated, but there was something about Ethan that felt safe, like he understood boundaries and wouldn't cross them unless she wanted him to. The morning rush continued, but Maya found herself thinking about the way Ethan had smiled when he handed her the pen, and the way he'd said he was glad she kept it. Maybe some complications were worth thinking about. Saturday morning found Maya at the farmer's market, 6 blocks from her apartment. She went there most weekends, looking for deals on vegetables and enjoying the bustle of people shopping for fresh food. Maya was comparing prices on bundles of collard greens when she heard a familiar voice behind her. The ones on the left look fresher. Maya turned around. Ethan was standing there holding a canvas shopping bag, wearing jeans and a simple grey sweater. He looked different outside of his work clothes, younger, more relaxed. "What are you doing here?" Maya asked. "Shopping. I live 2 blocks that way." He pointed toward the river. "I come here most Saturdays." Maya looked at his shopping bag. It was empty. "Just getting started?" "Yeah, I usually walk through once to see what looks good, then go back for what I actually want." Maya nodded. She did the same thing. Smart. Keeps you from buying things just because they look pretty. They stood there for a moment, both holding bundles of greens, both unsure what to do next. "Want to walk around together?" Ethan asked. "I promise not to give you grocery advice." Maya smiled. "Okay, but I'm kind of slow. I check prices on everything." "I do the same thing." They walked to the next stand together. Maya noticed that Ethan didn't try to carry her things or pay for anything. He just walked beside her, looking at vegetables and making small talk. "Do you cook a lot?" Maya asked. "I'm learning. I lived on takeout for years, but I'm trying to be healthier." "What's your best dish?" Ethan laughed. "Scrambled eggs. Sometimes I add cheese." "That's a good start." They stopped at a stand selling herbs and flowers. Maya picked up a bunch of parsley and smelled it. "My grandma makes this soup," Maya said. "It has parsley and carrots and this spice blend she won't tell anyone the recipe for." "Sounds good." "It's the best thing in the world when you're sick or sad or cold." Ethan bought basil and tomatoes. Maya got parsley, onions, and carrots. They walked slowly through the market, talking about favorite foods and restaurants they wanted to try. "There's this place on 5th Street that makes incredible banh mi," Maya said. "But there's always a huge line. Is it worth the wait?" "Definitely. They make their own bread." Ethan wrote something in his phone. "I'll check it out." Maya realized she was having fun. Real fun, not just being polite. Ethan was easy to talk to. He asked questions and remembered her answers. He didn't try to impress her or show off how much money he had. Near the end of the market, they stopped at a stand selling fresh pasta. The woman running it was explaining the difference between her egg noodles and her semolina noodles to another customer. "That looks amazing," Maya said, watching the woman pull long strands of fettuccine from a drying rack. "Have you ever made pasta?" Ethan asked. "Once. It was a disaster. I didn't have a pasta machine, so I tried to roll it out with a wine bottle." Ethan laughed. "How did that go?" "Let's just say we had very thick, very chewy spaghetti." "But you ate it anyway." "Of course. Took forever to chew, but it tasted okay." Ethan bought a container of fresh ravioli. Maya stuck with her vegetables. Fresh pasta was a luxury she couldn't afford right now. They walked toward the market exit together. Maya's canvas bag was getting heavy, but she didn't mind. She felt lighter than she had in weeks. "Which way are you headed?" Ethan asked. Maya pointed toward her neighborhood. "That way." "You?" "Opposite direction." Ethan shifted his bag to his other hand. "This was nice. I usually shop alone." "Me too." They stood there for a moment, neither quite ready to leave. "Maybe I'll see you here next Saturday," Ethan said. "Maybe." Ethan smiled. "Have a good rest of your weekend, Maya." "You too." Maya watched him walk away until he turned the corner. Then she headed home, her heart beating just a little faster than normal. Rosa was sitting on the front steps when Maya got to their building, enjoying the sunshine that had finally broken through the clouds. "How was the market?" Rosa asked. "Good. I got everything for your soup." "Just the soup ingredients." Maya looked at her grandmother. Rosa had that knowing look in her eyes. "What do you mean?" "Nothing. Just wondering if you ran into anyone interesting." Maya sat down on the step next to Rosa. "Why do you ask?" "Because you're smiling like you have a secret." Maya tried to stop smiling. It didn't work. "I ran into Ethan. The guy from work. The one with the kind eyes? Grandma, you didn't even meet him. I don't need to meet him to know he has kind eyes. You told me so yourself. Maya shook her head, but she was still smiling. We just walked around the market together. It wasn't a big deal. Rosa struggled to stand up. Maya jumped up to help her. Did he offer to carry your groceries? No. Good. A man who tries to take your bags before you ask is a man who thinks you can't handle things yourself. Maya thought about that as they walked upstairs to their apartment. Ethan hadn't tried to carry anything for her. He hadn't tried to pay for her food either. He'd just walked with her and talked with her like they were equals. He bought fresh ravioli, Maya said as she unpacked her groceries. Sounds like he's learning to take care of himself, Rosa said. That's a good sign. Maya started washing the vegetables. Through the kitchen window, she could see the market packing up for the day. Somewhere across the neighborhood, Ethan was probably making dinner with his fresh pasta and basil. For the first time in a long time, Maya let herself wonder what it might be like to cook dinner with someone else. To have company in the kitchen while she chopped vegetables and stirred soup. It was a nice thought, warm and comfortable, and not scary at all. Maybe next Saturday, she'd take a little longer at the farmer's market. Maybe she'd see what other vegetables looked good. Maybe she'd run into someone with kind eyes and fresh ravioli. Maybe. Sunday afternoon brought warm sunshine and the sound of children playing in the street. Maya was coming back from the pharmacy with Rosa's prescriptions when she saw someone sitting on her front steps. Ethan stood up when he saw her coming. He looked nervous. "Hi," he said. "I hope this is okay. I was in the neighborhood and—" He pulled something from his pocket. "I think you left this at the market yesterday." It was her pen again, the same cheap plastic pen he'd returned once before. Maya laughed. "I'm starting to think this pen doesn't want to stay with me. Maybe it likes traveling." Maya walked up the steps. Ethan moved aside to give her room. "How did you know where I lived?" "It's on your job application. I promise I'm not stalking you." "I didn't think you were." Maya pulled out her keys. "Would you like to come in for a minute? I should probably thank you properly for all the pen returning. If you're sure it's okay." Maya opened the door and called inside. "Grandma Rosa, we have company." Rosa appeared in the living room doorway. She was wearing her Sunday dress and had her hair pinned back with the silver combs Maya's grandfather had given her. "Grandma, this is Ethan. Ethan, my grandmother, Rosa Brooks." Ethan stepped forward and offered his hand. "It's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Brooks." Rosa shook his hand and studied his face carefully. Maya held her breath. "You can call me Miss Rosa," she said finally. "Mrs. Brooks was my mother-in-law, and she never liked me much." Ethan smiled. "Thank you for letting me visit, Miss Rosa. Maya, you bring this young man into the kitchen." "I just made iced tea." Maya led Ethan into the small kitchen. Rosa followed slowly, favoring her sore ankle. "Please sit," Rosa said, pointing to one of the 3 chairs around the table. Maya poured 3 glasses of iced tea while Rosa settled into her chair. Ethan sat down carefully, like he was afraid to break something. "So you work with Maya?" Rosa said. "Yes, ma'am. She works at our front desk sometimes." "And what do you do there?" Maya jumped in. "Ethan runs the company, Grandma." Rosa raised her eyebrows. "The whole company?" "Yes, ma'am," Ethan said. "But Maya makes it run better." "How so?" Ethan took a sip of iced tea. Maya noticed he didn't gulp it down even though it was sweet enough to make your teeth hurt. Rosa always made it too sweet. "She notices things other people miss," Ethan said. "When the power went out this week, Maya kept everyone calm and safe. She didn't panic or wait for someone else to fix it. She just did what needed doing." Rosa nodded slowly. "That sounds like Maya. And she's kind without making a big show of it. Like, she helped this man at her coffee shop remember his order when he was having a hard day. She didn't tell everyone about it afterward. She just helped him." Maya felt her cheeks get warm. "How do you know about that?" "You told that story in the interview." "The wrong interview." Rosa looked between them. "Wrong interview?" Maya explained about getting off on the wrong floor and ending up in the executive interview by mistake. Rosa listened with growing amusement. "So, you met because Maya can't read floor numbers," Rosa said. "I read it wrong," Maya protested. 18 and 8 do look similar," Ethan said kindly. Rosa laughed. "Child, you've been mixing up numbers since you were little. Remember when you thought you were turning 7 instead of 6? Grandma, she was so excited about being 7, Rosa told Ethan, kept talking about how grown up she'd be. Then on her birthday morning, I had to tell her she was only turning 6. Did she cry? Ethan asked. No, she said. 6 was fine too because it meant she could be excited about 7 for a whole extra year. Ethan looked at Maya. That sounds about right. They sat in the kitchen for another hour, drinking iced tea and talking. Rosa told stories about Maya as a little girl. Ethan talked about growing up with his cousin Liam and how they used to build forts in Liam's backyard. Maya mostly listened. She liked watching Ethan talk to Rosa. He didn't talk down to her or act like her stories were boring. He asked questions and laughed in the right places. When Rosa got up to refill the tea pitcher, she moved slowly and grabbed the counter for balance. Miss Rosa, can I help with that? Ethan asked. I'm fine, baby. This ankle just doesn't want to behave. How long has it been bothering you? Ethan asked. A few weeks. Maya keeps telling me to go to the doctor, but you know how that is. Maya shot Rosa a look. They'd talked about this before. The specialist Rosa needed to see didn't take their insurance. Doctors can be helpful sometimes, Ethan said carefully, if you decide you want to see one. Maya appreciated that he didn't push or offer to pay for anything. He just acknowledged that it was Rosa's choice. At 4 o'clock, Ethan stood up to leave. Thank you for the iced tea, Miss Rosa, and for the stories. You come back any time, Rosa said. Maya doesn't bring many friends around. Grandma. What? It's true. Maya walked Ethan to the door. On the front steps, he turned to her. Your grandmother is wonderful, he said. She likes you. That's unusual. She's protective. Very. She once made my high school boyfriend cry because he honked the horn instead of coming to the door. Ethan laughed. Good for her. They stood there for a moment, not quite ready to say goodbye. Maya, Ethan said finally, would you maybe want to get dinner sometime? Nothing fancy, just dinner. Maya felt her heart speed up. Like a date? Like dinner between two people who enjoy talking to each other. Maya thought about it. She liked Ethan. She liked how he treated Rosa and how he listened when people talked. But he was also her boss, and that made things complicated. Okay, she said, but somewhere public. And we split the check. Deal. And if this gets weird at work, we stop. Agreed. Ethan smiled. Thursday evening? There's a place called Murphy's that makes really good sandwiches. I know Murphy's. It's perfect. After Ethan left, Maya went back into the house. Rosa was sitting in the living room, smiling like she knew a secret. What? Maya asked. He listens with his eyes, Rosa said. That's rare in a man. What does that mean? It means when you talk, he watches your face to make sure he understands what you really mean, not just the words you're saying. Maya thought about that. Rosa was right. Ethan did pay attention in a way that felt different from other men Maya had dated. Do you think it's okay, going to dinner with him? I think you're smart enough to know if someone's good for you or not. Maya curled up on the couch next to Rosa's chair. He seems different from other guys. How so? He doesn't try to fix things for me. Like, when you mentioned your ankle, he didn't offer to pay for a doctor or tell you what you should do. He just said, doctors can be helpful. Rosa nodded. That's good. A man who tries to solve all your problems thinks you can't solve them yourself. And he didn't try to impress you with money or fancy stories. He just talked to you like a normal person. Also good. Maya pulled a throw pillow into her lap. I'm nervous about it. About dinner? About everything. It's been a long time since I liked someone like this. Rosa reached over and patted Maya's hand. Baby, if you never take a risk, you'll never find out what might be good. But what if it goes wrong? Then it goes wrong, and you learn something, and you move on. But what if it goes right? Maya smiled. You always ask the hard questions. That's what grandmothers are for. Monday morning came too soon. Maya arrived at Walsh Tech for her front desk shift, feeling nervous about seeing Ethan at work. Would things be weird now? Would he act different? She needn't have worried. When Ethan walked through the lobby at 10:30, he nodded at her the same way he always did. Professional, friendly, no weird looks or awkward smiles. Maya relaxed and focused on her work. She checked in visitors, answered phones, and helped a delivery driver find the right office. At 4:15, a man in an expensive suit approached the front desk. He had silver hair and the kind of watch that cost more than Maya made in 6 months. I'm here to see Ethan Walsh, the man said. I'm Robert Morrison from Morrison Industries. Maya checked her computer. I don't see an appointment scheduled. I don't need an appointment. Just tell Ethan I'm here. I'm sorry, but Mr. Walsh is in meetings all afternoon. I'd be happy to schedule something for later this week. The man's face turned red. "Do you know who I am?" "Yes, sir. Mr. Morrison from Morrison Industries. But I still need to follow our visitor policy. This is ridiculous. I've been doing business with Walsh Tech for 3 years." Maya stayed calm. "I understand this is frustrating. Let me call Mr. Walsh's assistant and see what we can do." "No. What you can do is get me a visitor badge and tell me which floor Ethan's office is on." "Sir, I can't do that without an appointment or approval from—" "Listen, honey," Morrison said, leaning across the desk. "I don't think you understand how this works. Some people are important enough to skip your little rules." Maya felt her face get hot. "Sir, the visitor policy applies to everyone. No exceptions. Maybe you should get someone with more authority to handle this." "I am handling this. Would you like me to schedule an appointment, or would you prefer to leave?" Morrison slammed his hand on the desk. "You clearly don't know who you're talking to. Is there a problem here?" Maya looked up. Ethan was standing 10 feet away, his face calm but his eyes sharp. Morrison straightened up. "Ethan, finally. Your receptionist here doesn't seem to understand basic customer service." Ethan walked over to the desk. He stood beside Maya, not in front of her. "Maya is doing her job correctly," Ethan said quietly. "Our visitor policy exists for everyone's safety and security. But surely you can make an exception for—" "No exceptions." Ethan's voice was still quiet, but there was steel in it. "If you'd like to schedule an appointment, Maya can help you with that. If not, you're welcome to leave." Morrison looked between them, his face getting redder. "This is terrible customer service. What's terrible is raising your voice at someone who's doing her job properly," Ethan said. "Maya, would you please call security?" "That won't be necessary," Morrison said quickly. "I'll schedule an appointment." "Perfect," Maya said, pulling out the appointment book. "What works better for you, Tuesday or Wednesday?" After Morrison left with his appointment, Maya slumped in her chair. Her hands were shaking a little. "You okay?" Ethan asked quietly. "Yeah, I hate when people yell." "You handled it perfectly. You didn't back down, and you didn't lose your temper." Maya looked at him. "Thank you for stepping in. But I want you to know, you could have handled it yourself," Ethan finished. "I know. I wasn't trying to rescue you. I was just backing you up. There's a difference? A big one. Rescuing means I think you can't handle it. Backing you up means I think you can handle it, but you shouldn't have to handle it alone." Maya felt something warm spread through her chest. I've never had someone explain it like that before. Most people haven't thought about it. They stood there for a moment, the lobby busy around them but their conversation feeling private. "Still on for Thursday?" Ethan asked. "Still on." Ethan smiled and walked toward the elevators. Maya watched him go, thinking about the difference between rescuing and backing up. She liked the way that felt. Thursday evening found Maya standing in front of her closet, trying to decide what to wear. Not too fancy, because this wasn't supposed to be a big deal, but not too casual, because she wanted to look nice. She settled on dark jeans and a soft blue sweater that Rosa said brought out her eyes. Murphy's Diner was exactly the kind of place Maya had hoped for. Bright lights, worn vinyl booths, and the smell of coffee that had been brewing all day. Nothing fancy or intimidating. Ethan was already there when Maya arrived. He stood up when he saw her, wearing dark jeans and a button-down shirt with the sleeves rolled up. "You found it okay?" he asked as they sat down. "I've been here before. Rosa and I come sometimes for Sunday breakfast. Good pancakes. The best in the neighborhood." They ordered. Maya got a turkey club, Ethan got a burger, and settled into easy conversation. Ethan asked about Maya's week at the cafe. Maya asked about his work, but avoided anything too specific about the company. "Can I ask you something?" Maya said as they waited for their food. "Sure. Why did you help me that first day, when I was lost?" Ethan thought about it for a moment. "Honestly, you looked like you needed help but weren't going to ask for it. How could you tell? The way you were standing. Like you were trying to figure everything out by yourself, rather than bothering anyone." Maya smiled. "Rosa says, I've been too independent since I was 3. There's nothing wrong with being independent. But sometimes it's okay to let people help." Maya took a sip of her water. "That's hard for me." "Why?" "Because when people help you, they usually want something back, and I don't always have something to give." Ethan nodded slowly. "I understand that." "Do you?" "Yeah. I've had people help me before because they wanted access to my money or my connections. It makes you suspicious of everyone's motives." Their food arrived. Maya bit into her sandwich and realized she was hungrier than she'd thought. Can we make a rule? Maya said, after a few minutes. What kind of rule? If either of us wants something from the other person, we just say it straight out. No games, no manipulation, no expecting the other person to guess. I like that rule. What else? Maya thought while she chewed. No gifts unless it's a special occasion. No paying for things the other person didn't ask you to pay for. And if someone offers help, the other person gets to say exactly what kind of help they want. So if you need help with something, you tell me specifically what you want me to do. Right. And if you want to help but I don't want help, you respect that. And if I want help with something, I ask for exactly what I need. Exactly. Ethan held out his hand across the table. Deal. Maya shook it. Deal. They talked until the diner started emptying out. Maya told Ethan about her plans to save money for Rosa's doctor visit. Ethan told Maya about learning to cook and how he'd burned 3 dinners in a row the week before. When the check came, Maya pulled out her wallet before Ethan could reach for his. We said we'd split it, Maya reminded him. Right. Sorry. Old habit. They divided the check exactly in half. Maya left her tip on the table and waited while Ethan left his. Outside the diner, they stood under a streetlight, neither quite ready to leave. This was nice, Maya said. Yeah, it was. Want to do it again sometime? Definitely. Maya felt brave enough to step closer. Can I ask you something else? Always. Are you going to kiss me goodnight? Ethan smiled. Do you want me to? I'm thinking about it. Take your time. Maya looked at his face in the streetlight. Kind eyes, Rosa had said. A man who listens with his eyes. Not tonight, Maya said finally. But maybe soon. I'll be here when you're ready. Maya felt something flutter in her chest. Good. They parted at the corner, walking in opposite directions toward their respective buses. Maya looked back once and saw Ethan waiting at his bus stop, hands in his pockets, looking content. The next week passed in a pleasant routine. Maya worked her shifts at both jobs. Ethan stopped by the cafe twice for coffee, always polite and professional. They texted each other small things. Maya sent a photo of Rosa's successfully prepared soup. Ethan sent a picture of his latest cooking disaster. On Tuesday afternoon, Maya was working the front desk when her phone buzzed with a text from her co-worker Jess. Girl, you need to see this. Attached was a link to a gossip blog called City Whispers. Maya opened it and felt her stomach drop. The headline read, Tech CEO's Secret Coffee Companion. Below it was a photo of Maya and Ethan walking down the street with coffee cups. Maya remembered the moment they'd been talking about weekend farmers market finds. Both of them were smiling. The caption read, Walsh Tech CEO Ethan Walsh spotted getting cozy with an unidentified young woman. Sources say the mystery brunette works at a local coffee shop. Could this be the reason Walsh has been spotted downtown so often lately? Maya read the short article with growing dread. It didn't say anything mean about her specifically, but it made their friendship sound secretive and scandalous. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was a text from Ethan. Dana forwarded me the blog post. Can we talk? Maya texted back. My shift ends at 5. Meet me at the coffee place on 3rd Street, the quiet one. See you there. Maya spent the rest of her shift trying not to think about the blog post, but her mind kept racing. What if Walsh Tech's clients saw it? What if it made problems for Ethan? What if Dana decided Maya was too much trouble and fired her? At 5:15, Maya found Ethan in a corner booth at the quiet cafe. He had 2 coffee cups on the table. Black coffee, he said as Maya sat down. Thank you. Maya wrapped her hands around the warm cup. So, that was a fun thing to read. I'm sorry. I should have been more careful. More careful about what? Walking down the street? About being seen together? I forget sometimes that people pay attention to what I do. Maya studied his face. Does this kind of thing happen a lot? Not lately. But yeah, sometimes. What usually happens? Ethan was quiet for a long moment. Usually the woman decides the attention isn't worth it. And she stops returning my calls. Maya sipped her coffee and thought about that. Is that what you think I'm going to do? I don't know. I hope not. Well, I'm not. But I do have some concerns. Like what? Like, is this going to make problems for you at work? For the company? Probably not. It's just a gossip blog. Most of our clients don't read this stuff. But some might. Maybe. Maya leaned back in the booth. And what about my job? Is Dana going to think I'm trouble? Dana cares about whether you do good work. which you do. But she might have some questions about company policy. Maya felt a knot form in her stomach. What kind of questions? About relationships between employees and management. We have rules about that kind of thing. Rules like what? Like disclosure and making sure there's no conflict of interest. Maya set down her coffee cup. Conflict of interest? Like, I can't be involved in decisions about your schedule or pay or performance reviews. Oh, Maya hadn't thought about that. So, if this becomes something more, you'd have to remove myself from any employment decisions that affect you. Dana would handle all that. Maya nodded slowly. That seemed reasonable. There's something else, Ethan said. What? If this story gets picked up by bigger outlets, there might be more attention. People might try to find out who you are, where you work, things like that. Maya felt cold suddenly. Would they bother Rosa? Probably not. But it's possible. Maya thought about her grandmother, who just wanted to sit on her front steps in peace and chat with neighbors. The idea of strangers bothering her made Maya angry. So what do we do? Maya asked. That's up to you. We can stop seeing each other outside of work. Keep things professional. Is that what you want? No, but I don't want to cause problems for you either. Maya looked at Ethan across the small table. He looked worried and tired. Can I think about it? Maya asked. Of course. Take all the time you need. Maya stood up. I should get home. Rosa will be wondering where I am. Maya. Ethan reached across the table and touched her hand briefly. Whatever you decide, it's okay. I understand if this is more complicated than you want to deal with. Maya squeezed his fingers once, then let go. I'll call you tomorrow. That evening, Maya showed Rosa the blog post. Rosa read it twice, then handed the phone back. What do you think? Maya asked. I think this person needs to find something more important to write about. Maya laughed despite herself. Grandma, what? It's true. Who cares if you drink coffee with a nice man? Apparently some people do. Rosa patted the couch beside her chair. Maya sat down. Baby, what are you worried about? Everything. What if this makes trouble for Ethan's company? What if I lose my job? What if people start bothering you? What if none of those things happen? Maya looked at her grandmother. But what if they do? Then we deal with them when they happen. You can't live your life afraid of what might go wrong. Maya curled up against the couch cushions. It was easier when I didn't like anyone. Easier, yes, but not better. How do you know? Rosa smiled. Because I see how you look when you talk about him. Like you remember there are good things in the world. Maya thought about that. It was true. Ethan made her feel hopeful in a way she hadn't felt in a long time. What would you do? Maya asked. I'd ask myself one question. Is he worth a little trouble? And only you know the answer to that, baby. Maya spent the night thinking. By morning, she knew what she wanted to do. Maya called Ethan Wednesday morning while she was walking to the cafe. Hi, he said. He sounded cautious. I've been thinking, Maya said. And I don't want to stop seeing you because some blogger thinks our coffee dates are newsworthy. Are you sure? I'm sure, but I have conditions. Okay, we talk to Dana together. Today if possible. I want to understand exactly what the company policies are. Done. And if the attention gets worse, we reassess. I won't let anyone bother Rosa. Absolutely. And we keep seeing each other the way we have been. No hiding, but no making a big show of it either. We're just two people who like each other. Maya could hear Ethan smiling through the phone. I can live with that. Good. When can we talk to Dana? How about lunchtime? I'll set it up. Perfect. And Ethan? Yeah? Next time someone takes our picture, let's make sure we look good. Ethan laughed. Deal. Dana's office felt less intimidating with Ethan there. She listened while Maya and Ethan explained the situation, nodding and taking notes. So you want to know what our relationship disclosure policy requires? Dana said. Right, Maya said. I want to make sure I'm not breaking any rules. Dana pulled out a folder. The policy is pretty simple. If two employees are dating, they need to fill out a disclosure form. If there's a reporting relationship, we adjust assignments to avoid conflicts of interest. What does that mean exactly? Maya asked. It means Ethan can't be involved in decisions about your schedule, pay, performance reviews, or disciplinary actions. I would handle all of that directly. That's fine with me, Maya said. And, Dana continued, we ask that personal relationships don't affect work behavior. No public displays of affection in the office, no personal arguments in the workplace, things like that. Basically, act professional at work, Ethan said. Exactly. Dana handed Maya a form. If you decide to move forward with a relationship, fill this out and return it to me. It's not a big deal. We have several couples in the company. Maya looked at the form. It was simpler than she'd expected. What about the blog post? Maya asked. Does that create problems? Dana shrugged. Not for me. As long as you're both doing good work and following company policy, your personal life is your business. Even if there are more stories? Even then. Though if it starts affecting work, like if reporters are calling the office or bothering other employees, we might need to address it. Maya felt a weight lift off her shoulders. That seems reasonable. Any other questions? Dana asked. Maya looked at Ethan, then back at Dana. Not right now, but can I think about it for a day or two? Of course, take your time. Outside Dana's office, Maya and Ethan walked toward the elevators. Feel better? Ethan asked. Much. Dana's pretty practical. She is. No drama, just clear policies. The elevator doors opened. Maya stepped inside, then turned to Ethan. Want to have dinner Friday? Somewhere public where bloggers can take all the pictures they want? Ethan smiled. I'd like that. Good. It's a date. The elevator doors closed, and Maya realized that's exactly what it was. A real date. No more wondering or testing the waters. They were going to try this thing and see what happened. For the first time since reading that blog post, Maya felt excited instead of worried. Friday evening, Maya chose a restaurant on Main Street where the windows faced the sidewalk and anyone could see inside. She wore her best dress, a simple black one that Rosa had helped her pick out years ago for job interviews. Ethan was waiting at a table by the window when Maya arrived. He stood when he saw her, and Maya noticed other people in the restaurant looking at them. You look beautiful, Ethan said as Maya sat down. Thank you. You clean up pretty nice yourself. They ordered dinner and wine, taking their time with both. Maya found herself relaxing as the evening went on. They talked about books they'd read, places they wanted to travel, and stories from their childhoods. Can I tell you something? Ethan said as they finished dessert. Always. I haven't felt this comfortable with someone in a long time. How long? Ethan was quiet for a moment. About 10 years. What happened 10 years ago? I got engaged to someone who turned out to be more interested in my bank account than in me. Maya reached across the table and touched his hand. I'm sorry. It taught me to be careful. Maybe too careful. What was her name? Quinn. Quinn Hale. She's a lifestyle blogger now. Has a podcast about relationships and wellness. Maya made a mental note to never look up Quinn Hale online. Did you love her? I thought I did. But looking back, I think I loved the idea of her. She was everything I thought I wanted. Beautiful, charming, connected to all the right people. But she never really saw me. She saw what I could provide for her. Maya squeezed Ethan's fingers. That must have hurt. It did. For a long time. Is that why you haven't dated anyone since then? Partly. And partly because I got focused on building the company. It was easier to work than to risk getting hurt again. Maya understood that. After her last boyfriend had made it clear he thought dating her meant she should be grateful for any attention he gave her, Maya had decided being alone was better than being with someone who didn't respect her. Can I tell you something? Maya said. Please. You're the first person in a long time who acts like my opinions matter. Of course they matter. You'd be surprised how many guys think they know better than me about everything. My job, my money, my grandmother, even what I should order at restaurants. Ethan shook his head. That's not how it's supposed to work. I know, but it took me a while to learn that. They walked out of the restaurant hand in hand, not caring who might be watching or taking pictures. At Maya's bus stop, Ethan pulled her gently into his arms. Can I kiss you now? He asked. Yes. The kiss was soft and warm and perfect. Maya felt like she was coming home to something she hadn't even known she was missing. When they broke apart, Maya smiled up at Ethan. That was worth waiting for. We're really doing this, Ethan said. It wasn't a question. We're really doing this. Maya's bus pulled up, but before she got on, she turned back to Ethan. One more thing. What? I'm filling out that disclosure form Monday morning. Ethan's smile could have lit up the whole street. Good. As the bus pulled away, Maya looked out the window and saw Ethan watching until she was out of sight. Her phone buzzed with a text from him. Thank you for taking a chance on us. Maya typed back, Thank you for being worth the chance. At home, Rosa was waiting up with 2 cups of tea and a knowing smile. "Good date?" Rosa asked. "The best," Maya said, sitting down beside her. "Grandma?" "Yes, baby? I think I'm falling in love." Rosa reached over and patted Maya's cheek. "I think you are too, and I think that's exactly what you deserve." Maya curled up on the couch with her tea, feeling happier than she had in years. Outside, the city hummed with life, and somewhere across town, Ethan was probably thinking about the same kiss that was making Maya smile. It had been a perfect evening. Maya hoped there would be many more just like it. The next few weeks passed like something from a dream Maya didn't want to wake up from. She filled out the disclosure form Monday morning and handed it to Dana with steady hands. Dana filed it without ceremony, which made Maya feel like she'd been worrying over nothing. Ethan stopped by the cafe twice a week for coffee. Maya worked her front desk shifts without drama. They texted each other, small things throughout the day, pictures of lunch, funny signs they saw, quick good morning messages. On Wednesday evenings, they had dinner together. Nothing fancy, just quiet restaurants where they could talk without interruption. Maya learned that Ethan read mystery novels before bed and had never learned to ride a bicycle. Ethan learned that Maya could speak a little Spanish and had once wanted to be a teacher before money got too tight for college. "You still could," Ethan said over Chinese takeout one evening. "Teach, I mean." Maya shook her head. "I'm 27. By the time I finished school, I'd be 31. You'll be 31 anyway. Might as well be 31 with a teaching degree." Maya had never thought about it that way. The idea planted itself in her mind like a small seed. On Saturday mornings, they met at the farmer's market. Ethan's cooking was improving slowly. Maya bought ingredients for Rosa's favorite meals. They walked through the stalls together, comfortable with the routine they were building. But the best part was how normal it felt. Maya had expected dating someone rich to be complicated and intimidating. Instead, Ethan fit into her life like he belonged there. He helped Rosa carry groceries upstairs without being asked. He remembered that Maya liked her coffee black and her grandmother preferred tea. When Maya's shift at the cafe ran long, he waited without complaining. 3 weeks after their first official date, Maya's phone buzzed while she was folding laundry. It was a text from her co-worker Jess. "You need to hear this." Attached was a link to something called The Quinn Hale Show, a lifestyle podcast Maya had never heard of. Maya clicked play while she continued folding Rosa's towels. "Today we're talking about authenticity in relationships," said a smooth female voice. "And I have to share something personal that's been on my mind lately." Maya paused her folding. Something about the woman's tone made her pay attention. "Long-time listeners know I don't usually talk about my exes," the voice continued. "But I've been seeing some news lately about someone from my past, and it's bringing up a lot of feelings." Maya sat down on her bed. "About 10 years ago, I was engaged to someone who seemed perfect on paper. Successful, kind, all the right things. But looking back, I realize he was always looking for reasons to doubt people's motives. He assumed everyone wanted something from him." Maya's stomach started to sink. "When our relationship ended, he told people I was only interested in his money, which hurt, because I genuinely cared about him. But I think he was so afraid of being used that he couldn't trust real love when it showed up." The woman paused. Maya could hear her take a sip of something. "I bring this up because I heard he's dating again, and I hope he's learned to trust. But I also worry about any woman who gets involved with him, because if you can't trust people's motives, you end up pushing away anyone who might actually love you." Maya turned off the podcast. She felt sick. She knew she should probably ignore it. Quinn obviously had her own agenda, but the words stuck in Maya's mind like thorns. He was always looking for reasons to doubt people's motives. Was that what Ethan was doing with her? Looking for signs that she wanted something from him? Maya tried to push the thought away, but it wouldn't leave. Over the next few days, she found herself watching Ethan more carefully. When he paid for their coffee, was he testing to see if she'd let him? When he offered to drive Rosa to her doctor's appointment, was he checking if Maya would take advantage? By Thursday, Maya felt crazy and confused. She decided to talk to Rosa about it. "Grandma, can I ask you something?" Rosa looked up from her crossword puzzle. "Always, baby. How do you know if someone really trusts you?" "That's a big question. Why do you ask?" Maya told Rosa about the podcast, trying to keep her voice neutral. Rosa listened without interrupting. "What do you think?" Maya asked when she finished. "I think this Quinn woman is stirring up trouble because she's jealous. But what if she's right? What if Ethan is just waiting for me to prove I'm like her?" Rosa set down her puzzle. Maya, sit down. Maya sat on the couch. Have you given Ethan any reason not to trust you? Rosa asked. No. Have you asked him for money or favors or anything that would make him suspicious? No. We split everything equally. Has he acted like he doesn't trust you? Maya thought about it. No. He listens when I talk. He respects my boundaries. He doesn't try to control what I do. Then why are you letting this woman's words make you doubt what you see with your own eyes? Maya sank back into the couch cushions. Because I'm scared. Of what? Of caring about him and finding out he never really trusted me. Rosa reached over and patted Maya's knee. Baby, you can't protect yourself from getting hurt by pushing away everyone who might hurt you. That's not living. That's just being afraid. But what if he does trust you, and you ruin it by acting like he doesn't? Maya looked at her grandmother. You think I'm overthinking this? I think you're listening to the wrong voice. That evening, Maya decided to be direct. She texted Ethan. Can we talk tonight? Something's on my mind. Of course. Want me to come over after Rosa goes to bed? That would be good. At 9 o'clock, Ethan knocked softly on Maya's door. Rosa was watching her evening shows with headphones on, so they sat in the kitchen. What's going on? Ethan asked. Maya showed him the podcast link. I heard this today. Ethan's face went pale as he listened. When it finished, he set Maya's phone down carefully. I'm sorry, he said. For what? For not telling you about Quinn's podcast. I knew she had one, but I didn't know she was talking about our relationship. Is what she said true? Ethan was quiet for a long moment. Some of it. I was suspicious of her motives toward the end, but not because I couldn't trust, because she gave me reasons not to trust. Like what? Like telling me she loved me while she was secretly meeting with reporters who wanted stories about my company. Like planning our wedding around which venues would photograph best for her blog. Maya felt some of the tension leave her shoulders. She was actually using you. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I assume everyone will, doesn't it? Even a little? Ethan looked at Maya across the small table. Can I tell you something? Always. I was suspicious of you at first. Not because you did anything wrong, but because I'd trained myself to be careful. Maya's heart sank. And now? Now I know you. I've watched you turn down help you didn't ask for. I've seen you insist on paying your own way, even when it would be easier to let me cover it. I've watched you take care of Rosa without complaining or asking for anything from anyone. So you trust me? Maya, I trust you more than I've trusted anyone in 10 years. Maya felt tears prick her eyes. Really, really. Quinn doesn't know who I am now. She knew who I was when I was 20 and scared of my own shadow. Maya reached across the table and took Ethan's hand. I'm sorry I doubted you. You didn't doubt me. You heard something that scared you and you talked to me about it directly. That's exactly what you should have done. Even though I felt crazy? Especially because you felt crazy. That's how you know you're not letting fear make your decisions for you. Maya squeezed Ethan's fingers. Rosa said I was listening to the wrong voice. Rosa's smart. She likes you. I like her too. Ethan smiled. She makes amazing iced tea. Maya laughed. She makes terrible iced tea. You're just too polite to say so. It's pretty sweet. It could dissolve metal. They sat in the kitchen laughing quietly, and Maya felt the last of her worry melt away. This was what trust felt like. Not the absence of fear, but the willingness to talk through fear together. Can I ask you something? Maya said. Always. Will you teach me to cook something? Something real, not just pasta and sandwiches. I'm not exactly an expert, but you're learning. We could learn together. Ethan's face lit up. I'd like that. What do you want to learn? Rosa's gumbo. She's been trying to teach me for years, but I always mess up the roux. What's a roux? Maya grinned. You'll find out. The following Friday evening, Ethan arrived at Maya's apartment carrying a bag of groceries and wearing an apron he'd bought specifically for the occasion. You look very serious about this, Maya said, letting him in. I watched 3 YouTube videos about roux. I'm prepared. Rosa was settled in her chair with her ankle elevated, ready to supervise. She'd written out her recipe on a piece of paper, though Maya knew she usually cooked by feel. First thing, Rosa called from the living room, you got to take your time with the roux. Can't rush it or it'll burn. Maya and Ethan stood side by side at the stove. Maya showed him how to heat the oil and add flour slowly, stirring constantly. This feels like science class, Ethan said, stirring carefully. Cooking is just chemistry you can eat, Maya said. How do you know when it's ready? When it smells like roasted nuts and looks like peanut butter. They took turns stirring, their hands bumping occasionally as they passed the spoon back and forth. Maya caught Ethan looking at her while she concentrated on the color of the roux. "What?" Maya asked. "Nothing. You just look happy." Maya realized she was happy, completely, simply happy in a way she hadn't been in years, standing in her grandmother's kitchen, teaching Ethan something Rosa had taught her, building something together one careful stir at a time. "Add the onions now," Rosa called. Maya and Ethan added vegetables to the pot, taking turns chopping and stirring. The kitchen filled with the smell of cooking onions and celery. When Rosa's favorite radio station started playing old soul music, Maya found herself swaying a little to the rhythm. "Dance with me," Ethan said suddenly. "We're cooking. The gumbo needs to simmer for 20 minutes. "Dance with me." Ethan held out his hand. Maya looked at the pot, then at Rosa, who was smiling and nodding. "One dance," Maya said. They moved slowly around the small kitchen, careful not to bump into the table or the refrigerator. Ethan wasn't a perfect dancer, but he was warm and steady, and he smelled like the soap he used, and a little bit like onions from cooking. "This is nice," Maya murmured against his shoulder. "Better than nice." Maya pulled back to look at his face. "Ethan?" "Yeah? I'm falling in love with you." "Good," Ethan said softly, "because I'm already there." Their kiss was gentle and tasted like the future Maya was starting to believe in. Behind them, the gumbo bubbled quietly, and from the living room came the sound of Rosa humming along to the radio. When they broke apart, Maya felt like her heart might float right out of her chest. "The gumbo's ready," she said, though she didn't want to move away from Ethan's arms. "In a minute." They swayed together a little longer, neither wanting to break the spell. Maya thought this might be the happiest moment of her life, but happiness, Maya learned, could be fragile. Monday morning brought grey skies and an email from Dana asking Maya to come to her office at 10 a.m. Maya's stomach clenched with worry, but Dana's message was brief and professional, giving no hint about what she wanted to discuss. Maya arrived at Dana's office 5 minutes early. Dana gestured for her to sit down and closed the door behind them. "Is everything okay?" Maya asked. "That depends. Have you seen this?" Dana handed Maya a printed article from a business website. The headline read, "WalshTech CEO's relationship raises questions about workplace policies." Maya's hands shook slightly as she read. The article suggested that Ethan's relationship with an employee created potential conflicts of interest, especially since Maya worked at the front desk, where she interacted with clients and visitors. "Where did this come from?" Maya asked. "Someone sent it to our biggest client this morning, along with photos of you and Ethan at dinner." Maya felt sick. "Photos?" Dana showed her 3 pictures on her computer. Maya and Ethan walking out of a restaurant. Maya and Ethan holding hands at a bus stop. Maya and Ethan kissing goodnight under a streetlight. "Who took these?" Maya asked. "We don't know, but they're being shared on social media with speculation about whether WalshTech has proper professional standards." Maya stared at the photos. They showed private moments that felt violated now that strangers were looking at them. "What does this mean?" Maya asked. "It means we need to be extra careful about following our policies, and it means you and Ethan might want to be more private until this blows over." "More private how?" "No public dates for a while. No hand-holding where clients might see. Keep things completely separate between work and personal life." Maya nodded slowly. It made sense, but it felt like punishment for falling in love. "Is my job in danger?" Maya asked. "Not if you keep doing good work and follow company policy. But Maya, if this escalates, we might need to make some adjustments." "What kind of adjustments?" "Moving you to a different department, changing your schedule. Things that would make it clear there's no conflict of interest." Maya left Dana's office feeling like the ground had shifted under her feet. She texted Ethan immediately. "We need to talk. Something happened. My office in 10 minutes? On my way." Ethan's office was on the top floor, with windows that looked out over the whole city. Maya had never been there before. It was larger than she'd expected, but not flashy. Clean desk, comfortable chairs, family photos on a bookshelf. "Close the door," Ethan said when Maya came in. Maya told him about her meeting with Dana and showed him the article on her phone. Ethan's face grew darker as he read. "I'm sorry," he said when she finished. "This is my fault." "How is it your fault?" "I should have been more careful. I forgot that people watch what I do." Maya felt a familiar knot forming in her stomach. "So what do we do?" Ethan was quiet for a long moment. We should probably cool things down for a while. Keep our relationship private until this media attention goes away. Cool things down how? No more public dinners. No more market trips together. Maybe we don't see each other outside of work for a few weeks. Maya stared at him. You want to hide our relationship? Just temporarily. Until things settle down. And then what? We pretend we don't know each other. We sneak around like we're doing something wrong. Maya, I'm trying to protect you. From what? From losing your job. From having reporters bother Rosa. From dealing with the kind of attention that comes with dating someone like me. Maya felt anger rising in her chest. Someone like you? Someone with money. Someone people write about. Ethan, did you miss the part where I already decided I could handle this? We talked about it weeks ago. We filled out the forms. We made plans. That was before it got this complicated. It's only complicated if you make it complicated. Ethan stood up and walked to the window. You don't understand the kind of scrutiny this brings. People will dig into your life, your family, your past. They'll twist everything to create drama. So we deal with it. Together. What if you can't handle it? The question hit Maya like a slap. What? What if the attention becomes too much? What if you decide it's not worth it? Maya saw it then, the real fear behind Ethan's words. He wasn't trying to protect her. He was trying to protect himself. You think I'm going to leave? Maya said quietly. I think you're smart enough to know when something isn't worth the trouble. Maya stood up. And you think I am trouble? That's not what I said. It's what you meant. Maya picked up her purse. You know what, Ethan? You're right. This is too complicated. Maya, wait. No. You want to handle this by yourself? Go ahead. You want to decide what I can and can't handle without asking me? Fine. But you don't get to do that and still have me too. Maya walked toward the door. Maya, please. I'm trying to do what's best for both of us. Maya turned back to him. No, you're doing what feels safe for you. There's a difference. She left his office and took the elevator straight down to the lobby. Her hands were shaking with anger and hurt. She texted Dana that she wasn't feeling well and needed to go home early. On the bus ride home, Maya stared out the window at the city passing by. She'd been right to be scared. Not of the media attention or the job complications, but of falling for someone who would run at the first sign of trouble. That evening, Maya sat in the kitchen picking at leftover gumbo while Rosa watched her with concerned eyes. You going to tell me what's wrong, or you going to keep pushing that food around your plate? Rosa asked. Maya set down her fork. Ethan and I had a fight. About what? Maya explained about the article, the photos, and Ethan's decision to cool things down. Rosa listened without comment until Maya finished. So he wants to hide the relationship, Rosa said. He says it's temporary, until the attention goes away. And you said? I said no. Rosa nodded slowly. Good. Really? Baby, if a man asks you to hide in the shadows while he figures out if you're worth the trouble, what does that tell you about how he sees you? Maya felt tears start to build behind her eyes. That I'm not worth it. That's right. And are you worth it? I thought I was. You are. The question is whether he knows it. Maya wiped her eyes with her napkin. I really thought he was different. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just scared. What's the difference? Scared people can learn to be brave, but they got to want to learn. Maya's phone buzzed with a text from Ethan. Can we please talk? I think I handled this wrong. Maya showed the message to Rosa. What should I do? Maya asked. What do you want to do? Maya thought about it. She was hurt and angry, but under that was something else. Sadness. Because she'd started to believe she and Ethan were building something real. Together. I want to know if he's willing to fight for us, or if he's just going to run every time things get hard. Then ask him that. Maya typed back. Tomorrow. Not tonight. I need to think. Okay. I'll be here when you're ready. Maya turned off her phone and helped Rosa get ready for bed. But sleep didn't come easily. Maya lay in her small room, staring at the ceiling and wondering if she'd been foolish to believe someone like Ethan could really love someone like her. Outside her window, the city hummed with life, full of people making choices about love and fear and what risks were worth taking. Maya hoped she'd have the wisdom to choose right. Wednesday morning brought rain and Liam Walsh standing outside Maya's cafe at 7 a.m. Maya recognized him from photos in Ethan's office. He looked like Ethan but broader, with darker hair and sharper eyes. Maya? Liam asked as she unlocked the cafe door. Yes, I'm Liam, Ethan's cousin. Can I buy you a coffee? Maya studied his face. Did Ethan send you? No, he doesn't know I'm here. Maya let him into the cafe and turned on the lights. Why are you here? Because my cousin is miserable, and I think you might be too. Maya started the espresso machine and pulled beans from the freezer. What makes you think that? He's been working 18-hour days and sleeping in his office. And you look like you haven't slept in 2 days. Maya caught her reflection in the window. Liam wasn't wrong. What do you want me to do about it? Maya asked. Talk to him. I tried. He decided he'd rather protect himself than trust me. Liam ordered a black coffee and sat at the counter while Maya made it. The cafe was empty except for the two of them. Can I tell you something about Ethan? Liam asked. Depends what it is. When Quinn broke up with him, she did it publicly. Posted a long social media message about how he was emotionally unavailable and too suspicious to love anyone. It was humiliating. Maya handed Liam his coffee. That's awful. It was. But the worst part was that some of it was true. Not the emotional unavailability part, but the suspicion. Ethan had become so afraid of being used that he questioned everyone's motives, including mine. At first, maybe, but not anymore. Maya leaned against the counter. Then why is he running? Because he's not afraid you'll use him. He's afraid you'll leave. That doesn't make sense. Think about it. When Quinn wanted to use him, he could control that by being careful with money and access. But when you might leave because dating him is too complicated, there's nothing he can control. That terrifies him. Maya poured herself a coffee and thought about what Liam was saying. It did make a twisted kind of sense. So what? I'm supposed to just accept that he'll panic and push me away every time life gets difficult? No. You're supposed to decide if he's worth helping him learn to do better. Maya took a sip of coffee. What makes you think he wants to learn? Liam smiled. Because he asked me to help him figure out how to make this right. And Ethan never asks for help with anything. What did you tell him? That he needs to show you he's willing to fight for the relationship instead of just fighting against problems. Maya's phone buzzed with a text. She looked at it and nearly dropped her coffee. I'm in the lobby at Walsh Tech with flowers and no plan. If you want to work this out, come find me. If you don't, I'll understand. But I'm not hiding anymore. Ethan. Maya looked at Liam. Did you know he was going to do this? Liam grinned. I might have suggested that grand gestures work better than words sometimes. Maya grabbed her jacket. Watch the cafe for 5 minutes? Go. Maya ran 6 blocks through the rain to Walsh Tech. She burst through the lobby doors, dripping wet and breathing hard. Ethan was standing in the center of the lobby holding a bouquet of grocery store flowers. He was wearing a suit, but his tie was crooked and his hair looked like he'd been running his hands through it. The lobby was busy with morning foot traffic, and people were definitely staring. Maya, Ethan said when he saw her. Thank you for coming. What are you doing? Maya asked. Making a choice. About what's more important, protecting myself or fighting for us. Maya walked closer. And? Us. Us is more important. Maya looked around the lobby. At least 20 people were watching them, including several employees with phones out. Ethan. Everyone's staring. Good, let them stare. But the articles, the photos, the company. We'll deal with it, because this is more important. Ethan stepped closer. Maya, I was wrong. I got scared, and I tried to handle it by controlling things instead of trusting you. That's not fair to you, and it's not the kind of man I want to be. What kind of man do you want to be? The kind who fights for what matters. The kind who trusts his partner to make her own choices about what she can handle. The kind who doesn't run when things get complicated. Maya felt her heart beating fast. What if things get more complicated? What if there are more articles? Then we deal with them together, like partners. What if I lose my job? Then we figure out what comes next, together. What if your board gets upset? Then I remind them that my personal life doesn't affect my ability to run this company. Maya looked at the flowers in Ethan's hands. They were simple grocery store daisies, cheerful and unpretentious. Are those for me? Maya asked. Yes. They're not fancy, but the florist shop wasn't open yet. Maya laughed despite herself. They're perfect. She took the flowers and stepped closer to Ethan. Around them, the lobby had gone completely quiet. Ethan, yeah? Next time you get scared, talk to me before you make decisions about what I can handle. Okay? Okay. And next time someone writes articles about us, we deal with it together. No more protecting each other by pushing each other away. Deal. Maya stood on her toes and kissed Ethan right there in the middle of the Walsh Tech lobby, with employees watching and phones recording and rain dripping from her jacket onto the marble floor. When they broke apart, someone started clapping, then someone else joined in. Within seconds, the entire lobby was applauding. Maya buried her face in Ethan's shoulder, laughing with embarrassment and relief. "So much for keeping things private," she whispered. "Too late for that now," Ethan said, holding her close. Maya looked up at him. "No more running? No more running." Behind them, Maya heard the elevator ding, and Dana's voice calling out, "All right, everyone, show's over, back to work." But Dana was smiling when she said it. By Friday afternoon, the lobby kiss had become legendary at Walsh Tech. Maya heard 3 different versions of the story while working her front desk shift, each more dramatic than the last. According to the newest version, Ethan had gone down on one knee, and Maya had fainted from joy. "That's not what happened," Maya told the elevator repairman, who was updating her on the latest gossip. "That's too bad," he said, grinning. "The fainting version was my favorite." Dana walked by and overheard. "Maya, when you have a minute, can you come to my office?" Maya's stomach dropped. Had the lobby scene created more problems? In Dana's office, Maya sat down carefully. "Am I in trouble?" "Actually, the opposite." Dana pulled up her computer. "I've been getting calls all morning from other companies asking about our workplace relationship policies." "Oh no." "Oh yes. Apparently, everyone thinks our approach is healthy and professional. 3 different companies want to hire me as a consultant to update their policies." Maya blinked. "Really? Really? Nothing says good workplace culture like employees who feel comfortable being honest about their relationships." "So the lobby thing didn't make problems?" "The lobby thing made it clear that you and Ethan are serious about each other and not trying to hide anything inappropriate. That's actually ideal from an HR perspective." Maya felt a weight she didn't know she'd been carrying lift from her shoulders. "There is one more thing," Dana said. "What?" "I got a call this morning from Quinn Hale, the podcaster." Maya's good mood evaporated. What did she want? "To interview me about our relationship policies for her show." "What did you tell her?" "That our employee relationships are none of her business." "But Maya, I think you should know she's been making calls, digging around for information about you and Ethan." Maya felt cold. "What kind of information? Where you live, where you work, how long you've been dating?" "She called the cafe too." "She called my job?" Jess didn't tell her anything. "But Maya, this woman seems determined to create drama. You might want to address it directly." Maya thought about that as she finished her shift. Quinn was like a mosquito buzzing around their happiness, looking for ways to cause problems. Maybe it was time to swat the mosquito. That evening, Maya looked up Quinn's podcast and found her social media accounts. Quinn was exactly what Maya had expected: blonde, perfectly made up, surrounded by expensive things. Her latest post was a photo of herself drinking green juice with the caption, "Staying positive while navigating complex situations. Sometimes you have to speak truth even when it's difficult." Number authenticity, number relationships, number speaking to the universe. Maya rolled her eyes and clicked on the contact information. Before she could lose her nerve, she sent a message. "Hi Quinn, this is Maya Brooks. I think we should talk." The response came back within 10 minutes. "Maya, I've been hoping to hear from you. Can we meet for coffee tomorrow? I have so much I want to share." Maya wrote back, "Tomorrow 3 p.m, Cafe Luna on 5th Street. Come alone. Can't wait to connect. This is going to be so healing." Maya showed the messages to Rosa, who read them with growing disgust. "This woman sounds like she thinks she's saving you from something," Rosa said. "That's what I'm afraid of." "What are you going to tell her?" Maya thought about it. "The truth. And then I'm going to ask her to leave us alone." "What if she doesn't listen? Then at least I'll know I tried to handle it like an adult before I have to get mean." Saturday afternoon, Maya arrived at Cafe Luna 5 minutes early and chose a table in the back corner. She wanted privacy for this conversation. Quinn walked in at exactly 3 p.m, and Maya recognized her immediately. She was shorter than Maya had expected, but she moved with the confidence of someone used to being watched. "Maya?" Quinn approached the table with a bright smile. "You're even prettier in person. I can see why Ethan was attracted." "Thank you for meeting me," Maya said, not returning the smile. Quinn ordered a complicated drink with oat milk and 3 different sweeteners. Maya stuck with black coffee. "So," Quinn said, settling into her chair, I'm sure you have questions. Actually, I have one request. Stop talking about Ethan on your podcast and stop calling people who know me. Quinn's smile faltered slightly. Oh, I was hoping we could have a more open conversation. About what? About Ethan. About the patterns I've seen. About what you should know before you get in too deep. Maya leaned back in her chair. What patterns? The suspicion, the emotional walls, the way he pulls back when things get serious. Anything else? He has this way of making you feel like you're special, like you're different from everyone else. But then when real problems come up, he protects himself first. Maya sipped her coffee and studied Quinn's face. Is that what happened with you two? Exactly. He made me feel like I was the only woman who really understood him. But when people started writing about our relationship, he got paranoid. He accused me of leaking information to reporters. Did you? Quinn paused. I may have mentioned our relationship to a few friends in media, but that's normal. When you're in love, you want to share it. Maya nodded slowly. So you did leak information. I shared my happiness. There's a difference. Not to Ethan, I imagine. Quinn's smile was becoming more strained. Look, I'm trying to help you. Ethan hasn't changed. He's going to hurt you the same way he hurt me. How do you know? Because I've been watching. The way he handled the recent articles about you two? Classic Ethan, trying to control the situation instead of trusting his partner. Maya felt a flare of anger. You've been watching us. Not watching, just staying informed. I care about Ethan, even though things ended badly between us. Is that why you called my co-workers? Because you care about Ethan? Quinn shifted in her chair. I was trying to understand what kind of person you are, to see if you're different or if you're just another woman who's going to take advantage of him. Maya set down her coffee cup. And what did you decide? That you seem nice, but you might not understand what you're getting into. Quinn, can I tell you something? Of course, Ethan did get scared when the articles came out. He did try to handle things by controlling them instead of trusting me. And you know what I did? Quinn leaned forward. What? I told him that wasn't okay. I told him if he wanted to be with me, he needed to trust me to make my own decisions. And you know what he did? What? He apologized. He showed up in a lobby full of people and chose me over protecting himself. He learned from his mistake and did better. Quinn's face went pale. He apologized, and then he kept his word. When his board asked questions about our relationship, he told them it wasn't their business, as long as it didn't affect his work. When clients made comments, he shut them down. When you started making calls about me, he didn't try to handle it himself. He told me what was happening and let me decide how to address it. Quinn stared at her. That doesn't sound like the Ethan I knew. Because it's not. People change, Quinn. People grow. The Ethan you dated 10 years ago was young and scared. The Ethan I'm dating now has learned to be brave. But, let me ask you something. Why do you really want to break us up? Quinn's composure cracked. I don't want to break you up. I thought maybe if he realized his patterns, he could work on them. His patterns with me, or his patterns in general. Quinn was quiet for a long moment. Maybe I thought if he could change for you, it would mean he could have changed for me too, if I'd just been patient enough. Maya felt her anger shift to something closer to pity. Quinn, Ethan didn't leave you because you weren't patient enough. He left because you weren't honest with him. I was trying to build my career by using his private life as content without his permission. I didn't think he'd mind, but he did mind, and instead of apologizing and changing, you blamed him for being too suspicious. Quinn looked down at her hands. Maybe I made some mistakes. Maybe. But that's between you and Ethan, not between you and me. Maya leaned forward. Quinn, I'm going to ask you one more time. Will you please stop talking about Ethan on your podcast and stop digging around in our relationship? What if I think you're making a mistake? Then that's my mistake to make. Quinn was quiet for a long time. Finally, she nodded. Okay, you're right. It's none of my business. Thank you. Quinn stood up. Can I say one more thing? What? He seems happy. In the photos I've seen, he looks lighter than he used to. Maya smiled. He is happy, and so am I. After Quinn left, Maya sat in the cafe for another hour, processing the conversation. She felt sad for Quinn, who seemed to be stuck in a 10-year-old hurt, but she also felt proud of herself for handling it directly instead of letting fear make her decisions. Her phone buzzed with a text from Ethan. How did it go? Good. I'll tell you about it tonight. Are you okay? Better than okay. See you at 7. Sunday afternoon brought sunshine and the smell of Rosa's gumbo simmering on the stove. Ethan arrived at 1 p.m., carrying a paper bag and wearing jeans and a t-shirt. What's in the bag? Maya asked, letting him in. Dessert. I stopped by that bakery you mentioned. The one with the good bread pudding? That's the one. In the kitchen, Ethan washed dishes while Maya set the table. Rosa supervised from her chair, offering commentary on everything from the way Ethan folded dish towels to his technique for slicing bread. Not too thick now, Rosa said. Thick bread makes the gumbo cold faster. Yes, ma'am, Ethan said, adjusting his slicing. Maya watched the two of them and felt something warm settle in her chest. This was what family looked like. Not just blood relations, but people who chose to take care of each other. Over lunch, Rosa told stories about her neighborhood friends. Ethan talked about a book he was reading. Maya listened to both of them and realized how comfortable this felt, like they'd been having Sunday lunches together for years instead of weeks. Maya, pass the hot sauce, Rosa said. It's right in front of you, Grandma. These old eyes don't see as well as they used to. Maya passed the hot sauce and noticed that Rosa's hand shook slightly as she took it. She'd been doing that more lately, small tremors that came and went. After lunch, Ethan insisted on cleaning up while Maya helped Rosa to her chair in the living room. I like that boy, Rosa said as Maya adjusted the pillow behind her back. I like him too. He fits here. Maya looked toward the kitchen, where Ethan was carefully washing their bowls. Yeah, he does. You know what that means. What? Means you found yourself a keeper. That evening, after Ethan had gone home and Rosa was settled for the night, Maya sat on her front steps, enjoying the cool air. Her phone rang. It was Ethan. Hi, she said. Hi, I just wanted to thank you. For what? For lunch, for including me, for making me feel like part of your family. Maya smiled. You are part of my family. Even though we've only been together for 2 months? Family isn't about time, Ethan. It's about choice. And we choose you. I choose you too. They talked for another hour, sharing small thoughts about their day. Maya told Ethan about her conversation with Quinn. Ethan told Maya about his plans to start a mentorship program at work. I love you, Ethan said before they hung up. I love you too. Maya sat on the steps a little longer after the call ended, thinking about how much her life had changed in such a short time. 2 months ago, she'd been focused on paying bills and taking care of Rosa. Now she was building something beautiful with someone who saw her as an equal partner. It felt like the beginning of something lasting. 8 weeks later, Maya's phone alarm went off at 6 a.m. on a Thursday morning. She rolled out of bed and got dressed for her morning shift at the cafe, the same routine she'd followed for months. But everything was different now. Ethan stopped by the cafe every Tuesday and Friday for coffee, but now their conversation included plans for the weekend and reminders about dinner with Rosa on Sunday. Maya worked her front desk shifts at WalshTech, but now she exchanged quick smiles with Ethan when he passed through the lobby. They'd found their rhythm, one official date per week, usually on Wednesday evenings, farmers market visits on Saturday mornings, Sunday lunch with Rosa, text messages throughout the day. Nothing dramatic or complicated, just two people building a life together, one small choice at a time. The media attention had faded after Quinn stopped talking about them. Occasionally, Maya still saw photos of them online, walking to the bus, buying groceries, holding hands at a crosswalk. But the pictures felt less invasive now, just evidence of a life lived openly. Thursday evening found them at their usual table at Murphy's Diner. Maya ordered her turkey club, Ethan got his burger. They talked about Maya's plan to start taking college classes in the fall and Ethan's idea to expand WalshTech's customer service department. Rosa's ankle has been better lately, Maya said, stirring sugar into her iced tea. The new doctor helped? Yeah. The physical therapy exercises are working. Maya had been amazed when their insurance approved Rosa's specialist visit. The approval had come through the week after Maya and Ethan's lobby reconciliation, though Maya didn't connect the two events until much later. I have something to tell you, Ethan said, as they waited for dessert. Good something or concerning something? Good something. My parents want to meet you. Maya raised her eyebrows. Your parents? They're coming to town next month. My mom has been asking about you for weeks. What did you tell her? That you make me happy. And that Rosa makes better gumbo than she does. Maya laughed. You did not tell your mother that. I did. She's competitive about cooking. She'll want to meet Rosa now too. Are you ready for your mom to meet Rosa? Ethan grinned. Rosa's going to win that conversation. Definitely. They walked out of the diner hand in hand, comfortable with the routine of Thursday night dates and weekend plans. At Maya's bus stop, Ethan pulled her into his arms for their goodnight kiss. "I love this," Maya said against his shoulder. "What?" "This. Us. The way everything feels normal but special at the same time." "Me too." Maya's bus pulled up, but before she got on, Ethan caught her hand. "Maya? Yeah? Are you happy?" Maya looked at his face in the streetlight. Kind eyes, like Rosa always said. "Very happy." "Good, because I have plans for us." "What kind of plans?" "The kind that last a long time." Maya felt her heart skip. "How long?" "We'll talk about it soon." Maya kissed him once more before getting on the bus. As it pulled away, she watched Ethan through the window until he disappeared from sight. At home, Rosa was waiting with tea and curiosity. "Good date?" Rosa asked. "Always. His parents want to meet me." "That's serious." "I think so too." "You ready for serious?" Maya thought about it. 6 months ago, the idea of meeting someone's parents would have terrified her. Now it felt like the natural next step in something that was already real. "Yeah," Maya said. "I think I am." The following Thursday, Ethan suggested they take a walk instead of going to dinner. "It's too nice to be inside," he said when Maya met him after her cafe shift. They walked through the park near Maya's apartment, talking about their weeks. Maya had finally registered for fall classes, 2 general education courses that would start her path toward a teaching degree. Ethan had hired 3 new customer service representatives and was working on plans for a company-wide training program. "There's something I want to show you," Ethan said as they reached the center of the park. "What?" "That bench over there, the one under the big tree." Maya looked where he was pointing. It was a simple wooden bench with a small plaque on the back. "What about it?" "It's where I used to come when I was trying to decide whether to ask you out." Maya looked at him in surprise. "Really?" "I'd sit there after work and think about whether I was brave enough to risk getting hurt again. That bench is where I decided you were worth the risk." They walked over to the bench and sat down together. The late afternoon sun filtered through the leaves above them, creating patterns of light and shadow on the ground. "I have something to ask you," Ethan said. Maya's heart started beating faster. "Okay." Ethan reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a small box. Maya's breath caught. "Maya Brooks," Ethan said, opening the box to reveal a simple silver ring with a single small diamond. "Will you marry me?" Maya stared at the ring. It was exactly what she would have chosen, beautiful but not flashy, elegant but not overwhelming. "Are you serious?" Maya asked. "Completely serious. I love you. I love Rosa. I love the life we're building together. I want to build the rest of it with you." "What about the media attention? The complications? What about them?" "We've handled everything so far. We'll handle whatever comes next." Maya looked at Ethan's face. No fear in his eyes, no hesitation, just love and certainty and hope. "Yes," Maya said. "Yes, I'll marry you." Ethan slipped the ring onto Maya's finger with hands that trembled slightly. It fit perfectly. "How did you know my size?" Maya asked. "Rosa helped me figure it out." Rosa knew. "I asked her permission first. She said it was about time." Maya laughed and cried at the same time. "Of course she did." They sat on the bench holding each other as the sun set behind the trees. Maya looked at the ring on her finger and realized her hands were shaking. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked. "I'm perfect. Better than perfect." "Scared?" "No. Excited. Happy. Ready." "For what?" Maya looked at the man who had become her partner in everything, who had learned to trust her and taught her to trust him back. "For everything. For our life together." They called Rosa from the bench, putting the phone on speaker so they could tell her together. "It's about time," Rosa said, just like Ethan had predicted. "Maya, are you happy?" "So happy, Grandma." "Good. Ethan, you better take care of my baby." "I will, Miss Rosa. I promise." "And Maya, you take care of him too. Marriage is a partnership." "I will." That night, Maya sat in her kitchen with Rosa, drinking tea and admiring her ring. "You sure about this?" Rosa asked. "Completely sure. Are you?" "Baby, I've been sure about that boy since the day he returned your pen." Maya laughed. "The pen? I'd forgotten about the pen. That pen brought you two together. You should keep it somewhere special." Maya went to her room and found the cheap plastic pen in her jewelry box, where she'd kept it without really knowing why. Now she knew. It was the first sign that Ethan paid attention to small things that mattered to her, the first hint that he would show up when he said he would, the first piece of evidence that he was different from anyone she'd dated before. Maya put the pen back in the jewelry box, next to the ring box Ethan had left with her. "Thank you," she whispered to the pen, feeling silly but grateful. Outside her window, the city sparkled with lights from 1,000 apartments, where people were making choices about love and trust and taking chances on each other. Maya was glad she'd taken her chance. 6 months later, on a sunny Saturday morning in September, Maya Brooks became Maya Walsh in a ceremony at the community center, 3 blocks from Rosa's apartment. The wedding was small and simple, exactly what Maya and Ethan had wanted. Rosa sat in the front row wearing her best dress and the silver combs Maya's grandfather had given her. Ethan's parents sat beside her, already charmed by the woman who had raised Maya with such love and wisdom. Liam stood as Ethan's best man. Dana served as Maya's maid of honor. The community center was decorated with flowers from the farmer's market and filled with the people who mattered most. Maya wore her mother's wedding dress, altered to fit her perfectly. Ethan wore a simple black suit and the silver tie clip Rosa had given him for Christmas. When the officiant asked if anyone objected to the marriage, Rosa called out, "If anyone objects to this, they can leave right now." Everyone laughed, including Maya and Ethan. They wrote their own vows. Ethan promised to trust Maya's strength and support her dreams. Maya promised to trust Ethan's love and build their future together, one choice at a time. When they kissed as husband and wife, the small crowd cheered loud enough to be heard 3 blocks away. The reception was held in the same room, with music from Rosa's favorite radio station and food from the cafe where Maya and Ethan had their first official date. They danced their first dance to a slow song from the 1,970 seconds that Rosa hummed along to from her chair. "Any regrets?" Ethan whispered as they swayed together. "Only one," Maya whispered back. "What?" "I wish we'd met sooner. I'm glad we met when we did. We were ready for each other." Maya thought about that. 6 months earlier, she'd been so focused on protecting herself that she might not have been open to love. Ethan had been so careful that he might not have been brave enough to try. They'd found each other at exactly the right time. As the evening wound down, Maya and Ethan helped clean up while Rosa supervised from her chair. The community center looked normal again, but Maya felt completely transformed. She was married to a man who saw her as an equal partner, who trusted her judgment and supported her dreams, who fit into her family like he'd always belonged there. At the end of the night, Maya and Ethan walked Rosa home before heading to their own apartment, the small place they'd rented together 2 blocks from Rosa's building. "Take care of each other," Rosa said as they kissed her goodnight. "We will," Maya and Ethan said together. In their apartment, Maya changed out of her wedding dress and into comfortable clothes. Ethan loosened his tie and rolled up his sleeves. They sat on their couch, in their home, and talked about the day. "It was perfect," Maya said, curled against Ethan's side. "Better than perfect." Maya looked at her wedding ring, a simple band that matched her engagement ring. Earlier that day, she'd placed the cheap plastic pen inside her jewelry box for safekeeping. The pen that had started everything. "What are you thinking about?" Ethan asked. "How we got here. All the small choices that led to this moment." "Like what?" "Like me reading the floor number wrong. Like you deciding to help instead of just walking past. Like both of us choosing to trust instead of being afraid. Good choices. The best choices." They sat together in comfortable silence, planning nothing, worrying about nothing, just being together in the life they'd built. Outside their window, the city hummed with life. Somewhere across town, other people were making choices about love and fear and what risks were worth taking. Maya hoped they would choose love. She hoped they would choose trust. She hoped they would choose the kind of partnership that made both people stronger. Because she'd learned something important in the past year. Love wasn't just a feeling. Love was a choice you made every day. A choice to see the best in someone. A choice to trust them with your heart. A choice to build something together that was better than anything you could build alone. Maya had chosen love, and love had chosen her back. It was exactly as it should be. 1 year later, Maya sat at the kitchen table in their apartment, grading papers from her first semester of student teaching. The cheap plastic pen that had brought her and Ethan together sat in a cup beside her laptop, still working perfectly despite its humble origins. Ethan was in the living room, reading a bedtime story to Rosa, who had moved in with them 6 months earlier when her arthritis made living alone too difficult. The 3-bedroom apartment was bigger than anywhere Maya had ever lived, but it felt cozy rather than spacious. And they lived happily ever after, Ethan read, closing the children's book Rosa had requested. That's a good story, Rosa said. But real life is better. How so? Ethan asked. Because in real life, you get to choose your happiness every day, instead of just finding it once at the end. Maya smiled as she heard their conversation. Rosa was right. Happiness wasn't a destination you reached and then stayed at forever. It was something you built, choice by choice, day by day. Maya looked at her wedding ring and thought about all the choices she and Ethan had made together. The choice to trust each other, the choice to face problems together instead of hiding from them, the choice to build a family that included Rosa and made room for whoever else might join them along the way. Next month, Maya would finish her teaching degree. In the spring, she'd start her first job as a full-time teacher at the elementary school 6 blocks from their apartment. Ethan was expanding Walsh Tech into educational software, partly inspired by Maya's stories about her students. They were building something good together, something that would last. Maya finished grading the last paper and put away her pen, the pen that had started everything. In the living room, she could hear Ethan and Rosa discussing tomorrow's grocery list and arguing about whether they needed more of Rosa's special tea. This was what love looked like in real life. Not grand gestures and dramatic moments, but quiet evenings and shared responsibilities, and the choice to take care of each other in small ways every day. Maya turned off the kitchen light and joined her family in the living room, ready for whatever choices tomorrow would bring. The end.